Have you ever thought your friend or significant other was going to do something, and then when they didn't, you became upset with them? Or vice versa? In this episode of the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast, Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi teaches to assume that you don't know what they are thinking. In his relationship with his wife, Dr. Jacob learns that when he sets an expectation that his wife will understand what to do in certain situations, it leads to a lot of pain. When he realized that he should never assume that he understands what his wife is thinking, it has led to much more peace and happiness. Coupled with this idea of not setting expectations is the idea of not thinking. Dr. Jacob asserts that thinking and decision-making at work and in relationships causes a lot of unnecessary problems. By not assuming you know, you will become happier and less stressed in relationships.
Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast, episode 58.
Everyone wants happiness and success, and we know how to get you there. Come listen to the Leadership Society of Arizona as we teach a proven logic to help you simplify life, overcome challenges, and predict the future. You're listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast.
Welcome to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. My name is Chuck Solanas, and I'm joined by our very special guest, Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi.
Hi, Chuck.
We are thrilled to have you on once again to answer my questions.
Okay.
All right, so this one I think is going to be about relationships and building understanding. And so I'm married. And sometimes my wife doesn't understand me very well. And other times I don't understand her very well. It's like this miscommunication when she does something that I don't really understand. And I think in my mind, well, you should have known this. You should have understood this. You should have been able to act in the way that I would have acted if you were in that situation, and vice versa, of course. So what are the best ways of building more understanding?
Oh, this is a good question here. Best way to build more understanding is do not have any expectations that your wife will understand anything that you do. That's the best way to build understanding.
So I should expect that she will never understand me.
Oh, yes. So that's going to help your relationship so much.
Well, how would it be a relationship then if there's no understanding?
No, you're just assuming she'll never understand. I'm not saying there's no understanding in the relationship, but you never assume that she'll understand. See, this way, you never get upset because you thought she should understand, but she really didn't. Are you getting this, Chuck?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I'm trying to internalize this, what this means.
It means
for situations. So let's apply it to an example. What is an example maybe for you and your wife where maybe you've had a lack of understanding and how you should change the expectations or whatever?
So, for example, my wife, maybe I think she really likes a person visiting, or she really likes a person. And in reality, she doesn't. Well, I have no expectations here. So I keep going, and she tells me one day, I don't like this person, and this is causing me a lot of stress. So I said, oh, okay. Since I have no expectations that she did like the person at all, as soon as she tells me that, I say, oh, okay. Then we won't hang out with this person anymore. No issue.
I see. So the main problem is when you think that she's thinking one way. You think that you understand her. You think that you know
you have an understanding, but in actuality, you're just assuming I'm not thinking what she's thinking. I'm not going to understand what she's thinking until she actually tells me. This is what I'm thinking.
Thinking in a relationship is very, very risky. Do not think you know. Do not think you understand. Do not have any expectations on what the other person is thinking or doing as well. And you will do very well in your relationship. So for example, I'm looking at this and my 2-year-old has this mosquito bite on his cheek. And it's really bad. So if I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking, ooh, my wife sees this, she's going to take care of it. But that would be a very wrong assumption. When you learn not to assume, not to think, now you have to observe reality. And reality is, this mosquito bite has been there for a couple of days now, and it's only getting worse. So reality is, she's not taking care of it. So if it needs to be taken care of, then I need to do something. Does this make sense?
How do you take care of a mosquito bite? Just off topic.
Well, first, you got to put lotion on it or some type of cream to help it heal and to get rid of the bacteria on it. Second, if your child is like mine and is going to scratch the thing to death, you got to put a Band-Aid or something on it so they can't scratch it.
Got it.
But another thing is, look, you only can build understanding from your perspective, right? So you can't build understanding for your wife. Your wife has to build that understanding for herself. And the more expectations and the more she thinks in terms of what you're supposed to be doing and what you should be doing and what you're capable of doing, the more she'll get frustrated. But the more you understand, well, you can build that understanding and understanding your wife and observing, well, how does she react? Does she always react this way? What could be causing her to react this way? See, here you're no longer thinking. You're actually watching and observing what's going on. And whenever you observe, it allows you to make changes in what you're doing so that you don't have to get yelled at all the time, or so that you can do things differently that will help the marriage so that there's not as many arguments started from your end. Does this make sense?
Yes. If I was more understanding, I would minimize the amount of times that my wife is mad at me. Yes. Yeah, so you're saying that the main reason why there's a lack of understanding is that we think. And so when we start thinking that the person should do this or life should be this way, that's the reason that we have all these issues when it comes to relationships. That's when we lack understanding.
Yes, when what is in your head doesn't match reality, that's when you have an issue. When you think they should know this, when you think they should be more capable, when you think that they should understand, when you think that they should be acting a certain way, that's a rookie mistake in relationships. That's always going to lead to pain. So don't think and don't have expectations and observe reality. And the more you can do those 3 things or not do them, the better off you're going to be.
Sounds like a plan. But you know that the brain thinks. The brain needs to process things in life. And so what you're talking about with thinking is really assuming, right?
No, I'm talking about thinking. We got to shut off the brain. Okay, so if you have to think so much, you got to get the no thinking tool. Don't think. So whenever you start thinking, don't think. Don't think.
Okay, so if I need to make a decision at work or in my life,
Get
you're
your no
saying
thinking tool. You gotta have a no thinking tool. Don't think. Stop.
Okay.
Stop it.
So your no thinking tool is asking for help, correct?
No, this is my no thinking tool.
Yeah, a water bottle, hitting yourself in the head with a water bottle.
Hey, make sure it's not too hard so you don't damage anything.
I'm saying, like, if you're trying to stop thinking as much, what are things that you should do other than the water bottle?
Okay, if you're trying not to think, well, this is a whole nother topic here. But the main thing, if you're trying not to think, is one. That's
like
it.
You're thinking. It looks like you're thinking.
Do you see what I'm doing? I'm not doing anything. So one, don't do anything. That's about it. When you find yourself, you just gotta stop. Just stop. Don't do anything.
All
That's all
right.
you can do, right? Asking for help, finding a mentor, doing things that allow you to be able to get more information and understanding about it will cause your thinking to go down. But what you're asking me is a really tough question in terms of someone can't all of a sudden shut their mind off. So when you find yourself thinking, the best thing you can do is nothing. Someone has a misunderstanding with you in a relationship. What's gonna help when you misunderstand and the other person misunderstands? Not doing anything. Stop. Don't say anything.
Not getting angry, not feeling upset, not feeling hurt.
You just stop. It's gonna minimize the damage, right? You're at work. You don't know what to do. Don't do anything. If you don't know what to do, you don't know what the next step is. You have no clue. Don't do anything, because if you don't know what to do and you go and do something, you're probably going to mess it up even more.
All right. Well, that should make life easier.
It's amazing, right? You do less and you get more. How is that even possible?
All right. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, Dr. Jacob. I think that tip of not thinking as much will help to bridge the gap of our understanding. So
I hope. I hope everybody has such better relationships off of this.
well, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much, listeners, for listening and viewers for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to the Logic and Life Coaching Podcast. It would be great if you could take a moment to write us a review. For any questions, comments, or topics that you would like to have addressed on the show, email the team at leadaz.org. To learn more about the Leadership Society of Arizona, visit us at leadaz.org.